Hello and welcome to Spinster's Library. I'm Claudia and let's talk about imposter syndrome. I had a very stressful day yesterday. Yesterday was the day of my annual progress review for my PhD, and what that involved was me sitting down in a conference room in front of a committee and explain to that committee what I have done for my PhD in the previous year and why I deserve to still be here. Now, ostensibly, this is not an exam. This is supposed to be a casual conversation about, your progress, where you're going, what you've been doing. But I was terrified. I was so nervous. I hadn't slept in 2 weeks leading up to that day. I was a wreck. My entire thoughts were consumed by this APR. The reason why I was so nervous about it is because I kept thinking, this is wrong. I don't actually deserve to be here. And when I sit down in the conference room in front of this committee, they're going to find out that I've been cheating all along, that I haven't done anything, that I'm stupid, and that I'm just pretending to be a PhD student. Classic imposter syndrome. Of course, then what happened was I told them what I'd been doing, talked for 10 minutes about my progress, and I got some fantastic feedback. They said things like, wow, you've really quite advanced. And they sounded interested about my research, and they'd been telling me I had done good work, and they'd been telling me that I'd done fantastic progress, and they told me that I'm on the right track. And they were really impressed by my work, and that kind of shocked me. So I went home after the APR, and I went to bed at 6 p.m. yesterday evening. I slept through until 6 a.m. this morning. I slept for 12 solid hours. I really needed that sleep. But it made me think about the amount of energy imposter syndrome sucks out of me and out of other people who experience the same things. And I get similar feelings about BookTube as well. This is why I'm talking about this on camera. This is not just me whining about my PhD experience. I get these feelings every time I review a book, but especially every time I review a classic. And if you're familiar with this channel, I talk about classics a lot. I love reading classics. I like the escapism into a past world. I like reading about people's experiences that lived hundreds of years ago. But every time I talk about a classic, whether I review it for a reading project, like my 4 Centuries project at the moment, or whether I just talk about a classic in the context of a wrap-up, I always feel like I shouldn't be talking about this. I'm not qualified to talk about this classic. I have no idea what I'm talking about. Or if I talk about how much I enjoyed a book, I should instead be talking about the themes and the deeper meaning and the prose, or talk about all the things that I imagine someone with a literature degree would talk about. But of course this is nonsense. I'm doing this for fun. I talk about books because I love talking about books, and very few times have comments made me feel like I'm inadequate. Most of the times when comments are rude, they very obviously come from a place of bigotry, from a place of trolling, of trying to get a reaction, of being deliberately dismissive, deliberately aggressive. And I can shake those off. Those don't bother me at all. If only I could shake off that inner voice that's telling me that I shouldn't be talking about this. I have no place in talking about this. I really should leave the reviewing of classics to the professionals. I'm also at the moment working on a video series about how I BookTube. The first video is out already. I'll link it in the description box if you're interested. And it's about coming up with BookTube ideas, video ideas. But in the future of the series, there will be videos about scripting, about filming, about editing. And I'm so terrified of filming those because, again, that little imposter syndrome voice in the back of my mind says, who are you to tell anyone how to edit? You barely know how to do this yourself. Who are you to tell people how to set up a camera? Who do you think you are, Steven Spielberg? So I get these ridiculous thoughts when I know I'm not even pretending to tell people what to do. These videos are about how I do things, and I don't need to justify that in front of anyone. And yet, my own stupid brain is holding me back from doing the things that I know I can do, because it's telling me that I can't actually do them, and that any moment someone will find out that I can't actually do them and imprison me for it. It's such a dumb behaviour that I need to unlearn. And I'm sure I'm not the only one. I'd love to hear your experiences, by the way, in the comments, just to make me feel a little bit less alone in this. Because imagine all the things we could do, we could achieve if we didn't have that stupid voice telling us that we're not good enough and that we shouldn't be here and that we shouldn't be doing this and that we should be leaving this to the experts. So I don't actually know how to get rid of imposter syndrome. Because even when I talk about it, for example, with my husband, he tells me I'm amazing. He tells me that I'm doing a lot. He tells me I'm making good progress. But of course, that's just because he's married to me and he has to, like contractually, he has to do these things. I'm pretty sure it says in the marriage certificate that he signed. So obviously everything he says is completely meaningless. But then who can I trust to tell me the truth? I should be trusting myself. But my imposter syndrome tells me that I'm wrong. It's a crappy situation, and I'm aware of it. Like, it's not like I don't know that this is happening, but for some reason that doesn't actually make it go away. Anyway, I just wanted to talk about these things. I don't usually let on that I have any doubts in my abilities. I don't let that on to you guys when I film a classic video. I have to stop myself from recording a little disclaimer that says, please don't trust anything I say. I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know why I'm even doing this video. Just ignore everything I say from now on. So every time I record, say, a review of a classic or a discussion video on on any topic really, every time I want to tell you that I don't know what I'm doing. But of course, that's not a good idea. And so I don't record these things. And every time I record something like that, I cut it out because I don't want to show weakness, which is another bullshit psychological construct in my mind that I need to get over. Ugh, where's this rambly video even going? Here, have a little look at Beetle so that clicking on this video wasn't entirely pointless. Isn't he adorable? I bet you never have doubts about anything you do. Thank you for watching. Bye.